In order to reduce fear of failure before a game, there are 3 skills or states that need to be developed. You need to learn how to focus on the present moment, relax, and then be more trusting in yourself and your skills. Hey there. I'm Eli Straw, mental performance coach and the founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com. In this 3rd video in the 4-part series on overcoming the fear of failure, you're going to learn the specific pregame exercises you can use to reduce your fear of failure going into a game. Now, if you haven't watched the previous 2 videos on what is fear of failure and then how the fear of failure holds you back during games, I've linked both of those in the description below. By developing the ability to center your attention in the present moment, your need to worry about the outcome is going to be reduced. And since we know the worry about the outcome is driving your fear, that's going to be a very important part. And then next, relaxing is going to help eliminate the stress and the anxiety that's caused by the fear. And lastly, increasing your confidence is going to build trust. And the more trust you have, you're going to switch the images you see in your mind from one of you failing to one of you succeeding. So the first pregame exercise is self-talk. Your thoughts have a direct impact on the way that you feel and your emotional state going into a game. Even if you don't currently realize it, the way you're speaking to yourself before a game is going to lead to more fear. What you want to do is learn how to use this self-talk to your advantage instead. Now, self-talk is a very simple process, but at the same time, incredibly powerful. It works to generate an emotional state that you want going into a game. But almost more importantly, and more helpful to reduce the fear of failure, is that it takes control of your thinking. And this means, instead of having the regular negative self-talk take place where you're focusing on what you don't want to have happen, you're substituting it with more positive and productive thoughts. When we use self-talk, this can work to increase your confidence, help you focus in the moment, and then also relax. And it's all just going to depend upon the words and the phrases that you choose to repeat. But the key word, no matter what state you're trying to generate, is repeat. Repetition is the key with self-talk. Using it as a pregame exercise works best if you continually cycle through the phrase or phrases that you're choosing. And so here are a few examples of positive self-talk phrases, also known as affirmations, that you can use for your pregame exercise. I am confident in myself and my abilities. Focus on the present moment. I trust in myself. I am relaxed, confident, and focused. Think about what you're most afraid of when it comes to failing, and you want to create a self-talk routine that's focused on that. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that self-talk is best when it's kept simple. Make the statement simple, concise, but at the same time, very meaningful to you. If you do, this pregame exercise is going to have a tremendous impact on reducing your fear of failure. And then the second pregame exercise is visualization. When you visualize, a scene is created in your mind, and this scene is going to serve multiple purposes. One purpose is that it's creating memory. The more you visualize yourself performing well, the more memory of success you are creating in your mind. Another purpose is creating a certain emotional state. Just as with self-talk, you can visualize and get yourself into a more focused, relaxed, or confident state going into a game. Now, there are 2 main visualization techniques that really work incredibly well for fear of failure. One is visualization for relaxation, and the other is visualizing for confidence. Both of them are going to use a very similar setup, and so here's what that's going to look like. First, you want to get into a comfortable position. And then step 2, you want to close your eyes. Step 3, take about 10 or so deep breaths, really focusing on your breathing and just solely focusing on taking those deep breaths to get yourself relaxed. And now you're ready to begin visualizing. So when you're wanting to visualize for relaxation, the goal is to create a scene that creates a sense of calm. To do so, you want to ask yourself, where do I feel the most relaxed? What is the environment where I feel calm, relaxed, and just really, really present in the moment? Are you watching TV on your couch? Are you going for a walk outside? Are you sitting on the beach? Are you hanging out with your friends? Once you have that identified, all you have to do is bring that scene into your mind. Picture yourself there. Don't merely picture it, you want to feel it also. Feel as though you're actually there. As you do, a sense of relaxation that you actually feel in that moment is going to come over you. And then the next type of visualization is visualization for confidence. Now, how do you think you become more confident? One of the best ways to create confidence is seeing yourself succeed. That's a concept that we're going to use with this visualization. What you want to do is see yourself really perform well at the skills that you're currently lacking trust in. This could be you're going to visualize yourself performing the skills that you are afraid to fail at. Now, I'm sure there are aspects of your game where you have more fear than others. This will highlight areas of low confidence. What you want to do is identify them, and then that's what you want to visualize. See yourself perform the skills in a lot of detail. And then also, you want to make sure that you feel confident while you are seeing yourself perform. The more you see yourself succeed, the greater confidence you're going to have. And this is going to result in lower fear of failure, because if you trust in yourself more, you aren't going to be as afraid of making mistakes. And the third pregame exercise is mindfulness training. Now, fear of failure is going to feed off outcome-oriented thinking. Mindfulness is defined by placing your attention in the present moment. So if you can generate a state of mindfulness before a game, this is going to be incredibly powerful against the fear that you're feeling. So how you can go about generating a state of mindfulness before a game is to start with your breathing. Most mindfulness practices you come across will involve your breath. And this isn't to say that you cannot become mindful through other practices, but focusing on your breathing is very effective at getting you into that present, focused mindset. There are a couple of different ways that you can use mindfulness as a pregame exercise to reduce the fear of failure. One is that you can practice mindfulness meditation, and then you can also perform some simple breathing exercises. Now, mindfulness meditation is a more involved practice and would require you to probably do it before you get to the field or court. Maybe you could perform the practice earlier in the day, like the morning, or you can also do it, let's say if you're on the bus ride. But the cool thing about this is the mindful state that you generate is going to be carried with you going into the game. And then another way that you can work on generating a mindful state right before the game or even during the game is count breathing. Now, this is going to be very similar to the mindfulness meditation in that you are focusing on your breath, except now you are going to be counting as you're taking your deep breaths. And this is really going to help you focus on your breathing instead of focusing on the outcome. One of the simplest and best count breathing kind of rhythms that I like to use is breathing in for a count of 5 and out for a count of 5. But then there's also breathing in for a count of 5 and out for a count of 10, or breathing in for a count of 4 and out for a count of 8. It really doesn't matter which form or rhythm you choose for count breathing. What's most important is that you are bringing your awareness onto your breath by focusing on the counting. And then the fourth pregame exercise is goal setting. Now, there's a specific form of goal setting that you want to use as a pregame exercise, which is going to really reduce the fear of failure that you have. It's going to work by giving yourself something to focus on instead of focusing so much on the outcome, which, as you know, focusing on the outcome is only going to worsen the fear of failure. You want to begin using process goals. Now, these are goals that you set, which are, first and foremost, completely within your control. Opposite of an outcome goal, these goals require you to examine the small steps that you need to take in order to put yourself in the best position to actually get that outcome. Now, the reason process goals work so well at reducing fear of failure is because of the control that they give you over your focus. When you learn how to focus on the process, you are removing your attention from the outcome. But this is not as easy as simply telling yourself to focus more on the process. You want to actually give yourself something to focus on that's part of the process, and that's where these process goals come into play. Now, as a pregame exercise, think about what is within your control, and that's part of the process that you want to focus on. These can be on the physical side of the game. These can also be on the mental side of the game. Then what you want to do as the game begins or during the game is, if you find yourself focusing on the outcome, just bring your attention back onto your process goal. Now that you know the main exercises you can use to reduce the fear of failure before a game, it's time to learn how you can actually use failure to elevate your game. So go ahead and click right here to watch the fourth video in this series that's going to show you how you can use your failures to improve yourself as a player.